you decide to talk about is the right thing to talk about. And your own experience is always going to be the best story. So, for example, chocolate cake. What's your favorite kind of cake? What if you can't eat cake? What if you can't eat flour or sugar or chocolate? And you've never had cake. What do you do? Well, surely you've met someone that's eaten a cake. You bought a cake once. You walked past one in a shop. You heard of someone eating a cake. There will be a connection somewhere. Troll through your mind and find it. Just because you know nothing about cake doesn't mean that it's not there. For instance, someone gives you the table topic, Christopher Columbus. Was Christopher Columbus's second voyage to the New World a complete waste of time? No. Absolutely no idea. You made 2 voyages? Gosh, well. So we think, oh, Christopher Columbus, well, he was on a boat, I've been on a boat. I like to fish. Excellent. Boat, fishing. So, the story you're going to tell is about how you like to fish in a boat. And tell a little anecdote about the rippling waves, the fish, and the sun, and how Christopher Columbus was clearly wasting his time because he was trying to get somewhere, when the whole point of being in a boat is to relax and enjoy the day. Perfect table topic. That's what I do. Other ways to kind of get a bit of material about that is to have an opinion about something. Go on about your opinion. Think about cause and effect. What caused it? So, if the table topic was, what about the weather? What do you think of all the snow? What caused it? El Nino? I don't know. You can think about things like that. Past, present, and future. Christopher Columbus again. Don't know anything about Christopher Columbus, but once went to Columbus, Ohio. Or have been to America. Or even, had a cousin called Maria. Think about what happened in the past. Maybe you don't know anything about Christopher Columbus, but maybe you do know something about other explorers. Can you think of a past, present, or future on the topic? Book, television anecdote. Have you seen a film on it? Have you read a book about it? Do you know someone who's seen a film on it? Another good way of doing one is pros and cons. If you are not sure of your own opinion, feel free to discuss both sides of it before coming to a conclusion. Do we like the new Parliament building? We like having Parliament. We think the building's ugly. But you can kind of do the pro and con, and then at the end of your speech come to a conclusion. So that's another way of eking some personal opinion out of the topic. And you can break them up. I mean, if someone did come to you and say, advantages or disadvantages of devolution of Parliament in Scotland, you could maybe break that into something smaller, because that's quite a big topic. So don't worry about dealing with the whole topic, just take a bit of it and carry on with that. That would help you break it up. With table topics, people tend to tell the truth, but there's absolutely no need. It is not a test. You can lie. What's your favorite cake? Shortcake. Nobody is going to tempt you afterwards. Maybe you've never had a cake in your life. Your family doesn't do cake. Make one. Make up a tender story about how your grandfather on his deathbed made you this beautiful cake and you had it for your 5th birthday and it was your favorite. Why not? Who's going to know? The point is to talk intelligently and in an entertaining fashion for 2 minutes. The point is not to share some heartfelt secret with a crowd of strangers. So just feel free to lie, that's fine. Think in threes. Threes are always good. So you have just hold up 3 fingers and go, the first thing I think about Christopher Columbus was that he got lost a lot. The second thing about Christopher Columbus was that he was on a boat. And just go for it. Hold up 3 fingers and they'll come to you. Think in threes. It's a good way of organizing your thoughts. So you can go for 3 and just fill them in as you go, and it'll help fill the time up. And finally, use someone else's story or experience. You may have met someone else who has been on a boat or met Christopher Columbus or something. If you're really stuck, you can take the topic a long way away from where it started. This may cost you in a competition, because in competitions they do tend to grade you a little bit on how well you stick to the topic. But on a normal table topic, at a normal Toastmasters night, no reason at all that you should stick to the topic remotely. So what is your favorite kind of cake? I did have a cake once, but the other day I was walking, that's rubbish. But the point is that you don't actually have to talk about cake at all. You can take it somewhere completely. You could make it about birthdays. You could make it about the grandmother who once made you a cake. Take it far away, and you don't have to discuss it. If it's Christopher Columbus, like I say, you could talk about fishing, because you can connect it on through. There's no reason at all to rigidly stick to what you've been given. Right, so, looking at our structure, we have our conclusion. We know the answer to our question. That is going to be our conclusion. We have our middle, which is our own story. That's the anecdote or story or conversation, pros and cons that we're going to have in the middle. So all that is left is to start. Easy. There are easy ways and hard ways of starting. The easiest way, and it's totally legitimate, is to repeat the question. My favorite kind of cake, or what is my favorite kind of cake? That's the easiest way to start, totally legitimate, feel free to use that. You can use a quote. This is highly advised on the Toastmasters advising website. I think it's rubbish, but if you happen to have a quote that would work, by all means, go for it. Start with a quote. That's a good classic way of opening. My personal favorite is to start with a rhetorical question, because it doesn't mean anything, but it connects you to the audience a bit. Doesn't everybody like a piece of cake? It's a nice, easy way to enter the topic. Gives you something to say while you're kind of getting your ground, and then moves you right into it. Or another straightforward way is to just start straight into the anecdote. The question was about cake. When I was 5, I remember my grandfather lighting the candles. Just plow right on to the anecdote, because an anecdote has a shape of its own, and you can just latch onto that shape, essentially. If you're feeling very advanced, or you're very confident with the topic that's been given, you may wish to go for a more difficult opening, and that would be to make some sort of statement that you would then refer to again at your conclusion. That is harder because it presupposes that you know pretty much how you're going to structure and what conclusion that you're going to come to, and that you have the presence of mind to both start and finish on the same sort of topic. But this would be the ideal. This is where you really want to go. So you'd want to maybe start with something along the lines of, the kind of cake that I like is the kind of cake that makes me feel best in all the world. Story, 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 and my mother gave me this cake and it made me feel the best in all the world, and that's why I like chocolate cake. So you've managed to tie your beginning to your ending. That is the epitome of good speeching, but very, very difficult to do in the table topic. So that's kind of the advanced option. Right, let's have an example. This is an example for me. We're going to talk through this one. And the reason it's an example for me is because I don't watch football, don't have a television. So if I was given this one, I might find that a very difficult table topic. But what I want to convince you all of is that it doesn't matter at all what the table topic it is. You are competent to do it. So here I am. I'm up in front. I'm given the question, what is my opinion about changing the time of football games on a Sunday? Right. Think. Okay. I have no opinion. I don't care at all. That's my answer. Excellent. That's my conclusion. Got that. Hold it in my mind, save it to the end. Then I'm going to run through the question. Football, Sundays. I don't watch football. I'm from Canada. We don't have... there's a connection. In Canada, we don't really have football. We have ice hockey. I can tell a story about Canada and ice hockey. That'll work. So, my table topic... the last thing I need to start. I'm going to start with the whole Canada thing. So I think my introduction to my table topic will actually just be an introduction to that little anecdote. So I start my table topic. Well, I'm Canadian, and we don't really follow football in Canada, but back in Canada on a Sunday afternoon, what we might do is watch the ice hockey. Now in Canada, the ice hockey, and so on and so forth, as long as we beat the Americans in the Olympics, nothing else matters. Get to the end, and then go, and that's why I don't particularly mind what they have as football on the Sunday, because I'll be inside watching the ice hockey. End of table topic. And that's how you construct one. Now, an exercise for the student. If everyone has a pen and some paper, we're going to work through one. You're going to do this for yourself with your own answers. And I will break them. Now, those of you who attended this speech last time, it's the same one. I didn't change the slide. Sorry. Right. Are you ready to go? Here is your table topic. Think of the answer and write it at the bottom of your piece of paper. Now, think about a story related to that. Maybe it's about the person who gave it to you. Maybe it's about something you did with that present. Maybe it's about the reason you hated that present for 20 years. Maybe you recently passed it on to your children. Maybe you recently found it in the attic. Maybe you played with it for days before your neighbor's dog destroyed it. I don't know. Find a story that works. So just put down in point form some reminders about what the story might be to go with that.